So, I'm going through a pretty rough time right now in life. And, I was looking at what was going on with me and my family. We're going through some pretty, pretty big health stuff, which in this day and age, when you're going through pretty big health stuff, it also means you're going through pretty big financial stuff. and, uh, and on top of that, we almost lost our dog this weekend, so thank God he's okay. But it was a big hit, 1-2 punch all at once, and it was a rough, fearful weekend. And I this morning when I was getting ready, popped into my head, why do I have to go through this? Have you ever asked yourself that? Why do I have to go through this? And it's interesting because immediately I snapped out of that. I was like, no, that's not the question you need to be asking. It the question you need to be asking is, why do I get to go through this? Not why do I have to go through this? Why do I get to go through this? Because honestly, anything big like this that I go through in my life, throughout my life, I've come to learn that there's always something super huge to be gained on the other side. And when I'm thinking, why is God putting me through this? God's not putting me through this. I started thinking about the movie Titanic. In the movie Titanic, there's a scene when the boat's going down. No two ways around it. There's just all the signs are there, and there's people running all over the place heading for lifeboats. But then the band's playing, but then there's a group with their faith leader, and he's taking them through a psalm, and he's saying, I believe, don't quote me, and definitely don't quote me on the psalm because I'm not good at these scriptures, but it's something like, although, yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I shall not fear, something like that. And please, religious people, do not skewer me for that. But the point of the whole thing is the boat's going down. They know it's going down. They know they're probably going to die. And instead of hit the lifeboat, they ran towards their faith to pull them through. Because it didn't really necessarily say that they were going to be saved and make it out on the other side on the lifeboat. They ran to God, basically, during that time, the greatest time of need. Because if they were going to go down, they wanted God to be holding their hand in the process. And through faith, you find God or your higher power, whatever, you know, whatever you choose to call your higher power out there in the universe that's with you on this journey. Because I promise you, whatever your higher power is, there is definitely a higher power watching out for you. And I know that to be a fact for me. And you can do what you want with your higher power, but I know my higher powers never ever ever let me down. So I don't necessarily know that I'm praying for my higher power to fix the problem. I'm praying for I'm praying for my higher power, who I choose to call God, to hold my hand through the problem and carry me through the problem. Because I know there's nothing that my higher power can't get me through. And it may not even be that, when I say getting through, I mean, it might not be how I want it to happen or turn out, but I know my higher power is there with me, comforting me during my darkest, deepest hours. And I know that my higher power has never ever let me down and never will. And I if I know that about me, I can pretty much say that's, I don't think he or she or whoever or whatever you look up to favors anyone more than the other. So if it works for me, this very flawed human being, then it definitely can work for you. So don't ask yourself, why do I have to go through the problem? Instead, ask yourself, why do I get to go through this problem? Because now I'm drawn closer to my higher power. I know my higher power is there, and I know that there's great things that my higher power is working on through me. And I know with my higher power holding my hand, not fixing it necessarily, but holding my hand through the process, I'm going to be okay. And so are you. All right, that's my message. I hope it helps anybody out there who's going through their own Titanic right now, like I am. Know that you don't have to go through this. You get to go through this with God, with your higher power. Okay, that's all I got. If you're liking these, subscribe to my channel here, and when these little DMs pop up, divine messages pop up to me, I will share them with you. But that's my divine message today. And I hope it helps you as much as you are helping me. All right, bye.